All right, welcome and thank you for everybody joining us today for this week's episode of 4-Minute Fridays. As you know, in these segments, we take a couple minutes just to speak with some of the people who make Christ so unique and such a great place to train. And today I'm sitting here with Team Ultrasound. And so we've got Mike Lambert up there on the top, the Fellowship Director and Ultrasound Director. Below him, we've got Katie Burns, the Assistant Ultrasound Director. And then we've got Patrik Kishi, the artist formerly known as Chief Kish at the bottom there, who just started his year as the Ultrasound Fellow. We'll have to rename you. Fellow Kish doesn't sound as cool. And today we're going to take a couple minutes just to talk about ultrasound and kind of all the things going on at Christ. But before we do that, as everybody knows, it's our tradition to start with one fun Chicago-themed question. And today, since we're talking about ultrasound, which always reminds me of sonar and water activities, I'm going to have each of you guys tell us your favorite water activity that you like to do in Chicago. Let's start with Mike.
I love being out on any boat, just being out on the water. Personally, a sailboat, I don't have one, but friends have one, and I like being out on those.
And Katie?
The 12th Street Beach has one of the best taco stands in Chicago, so that's my jam.
And Kishi?
Probably just hanging out at the beach and the lakeshore with some friends and having a good time.
Awesome. I'll leave it to Katie to turn a question about water activities to a question about tacos. So, Mike, I'm going to start by opening up. Oh, I'll put us on the clock. 1 second. Okay. We're trying to stick to 4 minutes, guys.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, so I'll start with you, which is that you've been at Christ obviously a while here doing ultrasound. Why don't you tell us a little bit about kind of how the program has evolved during that time?
Right. I've been here 33 years. We started the ultrasound program in 1994 and the fellowship in 1995. And at that time, we were the only active fellowship for the next 7 years. Today, there are actually 121 ultrasound fellowships. So there's a lot of things that have changed over those times of those years, but the equipment really has changed. First system we used was a Biosound A2000, which actually had a mechanical array probe on there that vibrated while we scanned patients with it. So the machines have gone from these very large sizes down to more portable things, to get around on. And today we've got, several systems in our department. We've got Sonosite exports. We've got 2 or 3 of those. We're bringing in new butterflies, we're hoping, and also Echo Noose's Cosmos, which uses artificial intelligence to tell you what structures there are on the screen. So we've come a long way since then.
If they do a good enough job, they're going to replace you guys soon with the computers.
Maybe.
And it's incredibly less complicated because you're not having to constantly memorize things. It shows up on there for you. So it'll be interesting to see how that, runs out. But we've got about 8 former fellows, I think, that on staff, and we have about 6 attendings now that are doing tape review and QA and just helping with lectures. And so one of our attendings, who is a former radiologist, Dr. Asokan, who has been at Christ since 1975 when he started ultrasound at Christ Hospital in 1975. They never had ultrasound before he got there. He is going to be on, he's going to be teaching with us. And I think now we've kind of figured out how to do these Zoom meetings that he'll be able to come back in the picture because he's a really knowledgeable person as well.
Yeah, we miss sitting next to him in the charting room, but I guess it's good to stay socially distant. So it's nice that we're adapting to it. Katie, now that we talked a little bit about the history, why don't you tell us a little bit about kind of goals or projects moving forward and what you're looking to focus on?
Sure. So one of the most interesting things that we've done in the past couple of years has gotten our TEE program up and running. So transesophageal echo is now being used in the emergency department for critical resuscitations, things like cardiac arrest, post-arrest resuscitation, extremely critically ill patients. And it's been a really great way to actually collaborate with our cardiovascular surgery team, cardiac anesthesia, We've had our docs up in the ORs, training with them on their operative patients that are getting TEs on a regular basis, and then translating some of that care down into the ER in an emergent situation. So that's been really cool. We do have partnerships with our large simulation lab. We have the EVE sim trainer. So we're doing a lot of TEE sim training additionally. And so it's been great to see some of our ER docs get trained in TEE using it actively in the ER too.
It's pretty cool. It feels like we've been reading about TE in the ED and how it's going to guide these resuscitations for a while. And now it's like real life, which is kind of exciting, you know?
Yeah, it's great.
And then Kishi, we'll finish off the end of this here with you, which is you're obviously just starting as the fellow and you completed your residency at Christ. Why don't you talk a little bit about the preparation for the fellowship application program and kind of the training you received even as a resident?
Absolutely. Yeah, you know, I just finished the training here at Christ, and I think, you know, the training here and our residency program provides you with pretty exceptional training all around. And, you know, whether you're looking at fellowship or academics or community, you can, I think it prepares you well for whatever path you're choosing. You know, for me, it was ultrasound, and luckily enough, we have great ultrasound attendings here and faculty, you know, with Mike and Katie leading the program, and multiple ultrasound certified attendings on staff. You're almost always guaranteed to have one during a shift. And so I think, you know, when we get critically ill patients, which we have quite a few of them, they can kind of help out when we're bringing the ultrasound in the room to get some scanning done and provide some good insight and recommendations. I feel like here ultrasound is so heavily utilized. You'll see people using it on every shift. You know, we have great machines to do so. And then with our sim trainer and hopefully getting the TEE going again, you know, I think there's a lot of opportunities if you're interested in ultrasound to go forward with.
Awesome. Well, I thank all you guys for sitting down with me today, talking a little bit about ultrasound. I always tell any of the viewers, if they've got questions, they can reach out to some of you guys with information on the website. Most importantly, I've been begging Katie Burns to get on Twitter for 3 years now. So I'm going to include her handle on this release. Make sure you give her a follow. That's it. Thanks, guys.
Take it easy. Thanks.
Thanks.